This is an RPG-A-Day response from the Casting Shadows blog and channel. The question for day 26 of RPG-A-Day is, well, in a sense, it's not really about role-playing games at all, which might cause some confusion, but then again, it is, especially for those of us who are a little older or a little busier. You don't necessarily have to be old to be busy, but often those things go hand in hand. What hobbies go well with role-playing games is the question for today, and what it's getting at is the group. Right? On those times when we can't play a role-playing game, what's another hobby that will keep us doing stuff together until the next time we can game? Or what hobbies can feed into our interests and our inspirations for gaming? And a simple example would be Arkham Horror. Arkham Horror is one of those board games that has strong thematic and role-playing elements, and every time I look up at the box, I just want to play Call of Cthulhu. It's this kind of thing that the question is kind of hinting at. Now, there are those of us who feel like some external hobbies can steal away from role-playing game time. And if that's the direction your thoughts are going, then I would suggest that that's not the direction for RPG-A-Day. Finding the ones that are a nice, satisfying fit for a group of role-playing gamers, that's what we're talking about today. So, for me, it's been a long time since I've done things like play Magic the Gathering or Jihad or whatnot, but this used to be a big part of game night. As people were arriving, we would be sitting there waiting for them to come, and we'd play a couple of rounds of Magic, and it was good. We got into a good mood. We got rid of all the day-to-day talk about work and family and friends and stuff, so that by the time it was time to start the game, that's what we were focused on. And that's something of real importance to me when I'm with a group for a long time. I definitely want to have the bonds of friendship there, but at the same time, when we're gaming, I would like the game to be the focus. We've only got such a short period of time, and we have to work so hard to schedule those moments. I hope that for everybody's enjoyment, that those few hours of game time are focused on the game, so that we can create as much as possible within the bounds of our schedules. So having a warm-up activity, which is not the game, to serve as a way to allow us to interact socially, that's nice. An example of this that I've found is very helpful. It has a low impact in terms of time for play and time for learning, and also low impact on the social and mental resources of the group. That's card games. These light, usually funny card games. So people are coming over to wherever the game is. They've just finished work or whatever, and as they arrive, they get dealt into the game, and people talk, and once everybody's there, you play maybe another hand. People talk about their day, get their snacks or drinks or whatever it is, and then we shift ourselves into the headspace for play. It's kind of nice. A themed game is even better if it's on the same theme as you're going for in your role-playing game. One that helps you, step away from your day-to-day concerns and step toward your game-to-game concerns. So an example of this for me would be if I were playing Leagues of Adventure, I'd want to try Rocket Race, which is a very lighthearted, very funny, very fast-paced game put out by AAA Games, where you try and build a weird science device which will get you safely to the moon. It's a rocket race to the moon. Now, I don't usually go that far into weird science when I consider Leagues of Adventure, and so this is perfect for me. It gets distractions out of the way. It entertains people who like those elements which might be underrepresented in my particular expression of Leagues of Adventure, and it gives us ideas for the next thing we might do with the game. So I think Things like this are ideal. But there's more. Before I moved to Korea, I was part of a pretty large MechWarrior and Battletech group. And so one of the hobbies that we participated in as a group was painting. We liked to do all of our mech battles using Battletech, regardless of whether we were playing MechWarrior or not. And so having the mechs well painted over time became more and more important to us. And we weren't really big on terrain, but we were big on terrain enhancements and making sure we had enough of those, figuring out how we were going to sculpt our 3D terrain, making sure there was batteries in the laser pointers and all that ridiculous stuff. All of that preparation was in itself a hobby, especially the painting part. And we would just sit around the table and paint mechs and talk to each other, bonding as a group. And that was a big part of the reason why that group became friends. It wasn't as much the play. We came together to play. And we stayed together as a group, and we did other things together as a group because of the relationships we formed in the hobby of painting. So these two examples, quick, fun, funny card games, and a hobby that in some ways supports the role-playing game that you're playing, whether that's a book club of literature that's connected to the theme, or just movie night, or whatever. Do something to make sure that your group is more than a scheduled appointment on a calendar with strangers. That's the question, or my answer to the question for day 26. See you tomorrow. Would you like to see more responses? Do a quick search for #RPGaDay.